Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So today, this has been requested so many times, and I just have not done them. Uh, I get asked a lot about Inktense, and what they are they're watercolor, but they dry permanent, and I love them. I don't use them nearly enough. I have them on the shelf, and I look at them and think, oh, I should get them out, and I just don't. I usually am playing with paint or what have you. So what I have here is this is just mixed media paper, out of a mixed media pad. You can see lazy, I did not take that off. And what I have are two different types. Now, these are Inktense pencils. And you open them, and this is what they are. They're fairly expensive. That's why I have a, not some big can't, but awesome. We're going to use those. And then these are, you can see how I use them. These are Inktense blocks, and these are color blocks, which are the same things as the pencils, except obviously they're in blocks. Okay. And we'll use those as well. I do have, I'll have to see if I can grab them. And then here are, this is a set, and then those are extra colors that I had bought. Also, let me grab it. Yeah. Okay. You can get these, and what it is, you put the block inside, which I'll show you, and then you can hold on to this so you don't get color on your fingers. So let's see, like if we're going to do an art journal page, for instance. Maybe I'll do it this one. All right. And what I like to do, and I'm not doing a fancy picture teaching, I just want to show these blocks. I will take, let's do blue. And this is just the block. And what I like to use these for, you just stick it in. That's what she said. And, oh, goodness gracious, Kelly. Okay, so you can hold on. Now, you can use these several ways. You don't even have to use this little holder, I'm going to tell you. But what I like to do, let's say I'm going to do a sky. So let's say I'm just squirting it on there right now. So these are delightful. Look at this. I don't put a lot of pressure. Now, this is one way you can do it. And then you'll take your paintbrush, obviously, you'll wet it. And then, remember, mixed media paper. But what happens is, and this happens with me with the Neo colors and all that kind of stuff, when I scribble like that and you can sit and play and you'll see it dissolve in, but you can still see the lines. Okay, and this is what paper is this? This is just Canson mixed media paper. Maybe my brush was dirty as well. That could be a thing. So what I'll do. Okay. So you see, you get the lines. That's a look. That's a look you can have. You can also stick this in water and wet it. And you see as it starts drying off. But look at that. Oh, that's so nice. Wet it a little bit. And then start. And you see how much better that blends when you wet the stick? Oh, the jokes. Count the jokes today. My water must be dirty, which, hey, surprise. Who would know that? Who wouldn't guess that? But you can see how that I mean, look at that. That's gorgeous. And you keep, you work. I'm putting lines in it accidentally because I'm going back and forth. And I would generally like to use a bigger brush, but I mean, look at that, how gorgeous. Now I'm gonna let that dry for a second, and we will go and I want to go over it and show you. So now I'm gonna wet my brush and I'm going in. This makes you feel like a really fancy artist. Like, look at me. That's how I feel anyway. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then I'm going to go in and look at this. So you see, you're getting straight pigment, same as there, but it's more controlled. Okay, and you're not getting any lines. And lines can be great for if you want to do grass or, you know, different textures. Now for mixed media, this is great for me because I can just scribble this on, wet that like that. It kind of blows it out a bit. And then, you know, this is texture. This is texture when you don't have anything for texture. So don't ever, you know, snub your nose at that. A lot of these items, the gelatos, all that, you know, you can get texture or you work them a different way. So they're very versatile that way, or versatile. I don't know if that makes me sound fancy. So, okay, so you can see the difference when you take it off of there compared to scrubbing it in. You're definitely getting it, you know, more even toned, more all over the place. Delightful, you know, these different ways. So I will take him out. This always makes me nervous. That's why they break. So you want to be careful because this is tight. There we go. Pull it from the top when you pull it out. But you could see on my fingers just from touching that. Now, I don't usually use, I'm going to tell you, I don't usually use this little rubbery thing because I'm lazy. And that's pretty much why. So I'm going to go into here. And that's why they look like this. I'm going to go into here. I'm going to take red. Maybe I'll take the smaller red since why not? And I'll wet him just like I did. And let's do this first. I mean, look at that thick. That is thick pigment. That's delightful. Delicious. Delightful. It is fantastic. I gotta quit saying delightful. So I'm gonna mix this in to show you that I'm color mixing, and you will get, look at this, you get a nice purple. Look how pretty. Again, doing mixed media, which is what I do. Oh, the water. I should have changed the water. I thought, oh, it's okay. But obviously I had glue or something in there. The gods only know what's in there. Okay, but you can see, I mean, look how pretty. So you can get this dark color, you mix it in, and then you get this really maroony kind of purple. I don't know the technicals, but you see what I'm saying. So then I can go in again with my brush. Look at that. Look at that beautiful color. Beautiful red. And then, you know, we can do the scribbles as well. Same thing. Now, because this was wet and I'm doing it, it'll come up a little bit better, but you could still see a little bit of the scribbles. At the end of the day, it's not that big a deal. But, I mean, very nice. Again, this is what happens. So I always suggest when doing with the bricks, the blocks, have another piece of paper because I put my blue away wet. This will go away wet. I have this. So why not, you know what I mean? Just do this and start making another piece of paper, mixed media paper. Okay. All right. So that's that. I'll show you one more thing with the blocks. Gonna let my fingers down. Okay. So I hate wasting that because it's so expensive, but it's so delightful. And you can get them on sale. Like if you go to Jerry's Artorama, Dick Blick and all, that's where I got mine from. And you can get them, you know, on sale, or just buy colors that you want. Just buy a couple just to try it. A lot of the craft stores don't sell these anymore. They used to, but they don't. So you see how I'm doing here? Okay. Oh, I hate. Okay. And look, you got a stamp. Now what I love is, I'll just go and like moisten because I love to moisten. When you're doing mixed media and you're layering, this is fantastic because, I mean, look how many stamps I'm getting. Number one. Okay. I mean, come on. But what's great is, this dries permanent. So what happens is I let all this dry for a few. I'm going to put him away. Okay. Oh my goodness, it stuck to me. I try to put the wet side up. Oh. Okay. So you let this dry. Now, and I'm going to use these in a mixed media piece. I will show you, but I just want to kind of show you, you know, what they do. I can go on top once these are dry. So I'm going to take this piece of paper. Did I have to? All right. We'll turn it over like this. Okay, so that's those. So you see the fun. They're fun. I really got to use these more. And like I said, I'll use them in a piece coming up. But for now, you can see what I did on the metal. I've used them on here. I've used my alcohol inks on here. As this is a what's it called? Oh my gosh, what do you mixed palette. Now let's get into these, which are way more controllable. Same idea. And once that other side dries, I'll show you. But same thing, but we can draw. So one of my favorite things to do is to draw a heart. Oh, Kelly, come on. Come on. There you go. I have dried paint. Don't let paint dry on your markers, on your pencils. Don't do it. I know most of us have. If you buy a brand new pen, gel pen, whatever kind of marker, and you use it on your acrylic, and maybe your acrylic's not all the way dry, and you don't wipe the tip, it will ruin them. So I can't tell you how many times I go buy pens and markers, and I forget. But that's what happened. It wouldn't work, but now it is. Okay, so I drew on the outside of that, and I'm going to paint, or use yellow now. Oh, girl, I need to sharpen that. On the inside, I'm just going to give a quick scribble. All right, I'm keeping these out because I'm going to be using these a lot. It's a shame because they're going to go to waste if I don't. And then I'm going to use some dirty water because that's all I have. She wasn't thinking, but does she ever? And I'm going to go and I'm going to color. On paint. And I'll scribble and show you, but I just want to show you. Does the same thing as the other with the lines. But you can see how it, you know, it does good. It definitely colors and will dry. Let's see this. This is dark. So that'll definitely dry. Oh, girl, you didn't even. I'm going to have to resharpen all these, I think. And then I'm going to go this way. I do all kinds of stuff with these. I love them. And I don't have anything invested. Like, I'm not asking you for money for them. I'm not asking you to buy them from a code or anything. They're just delightful. Just don't use them enough. So look. So you see how they're lighter. They're not as intense as the blocks, but you definitely can play with these in a way where, like, if we're doing, let's say I'm going to do grass, and I'm going to start, you start light to dark, and with my grass, I'm going to go over here. This is like one of my favorite, like, citrus green colors. It's like a green yellow. It's one of my faves. Okay. So we have that, and I'm going to get water. And I will add, look at this, look at this, look at this. That's pencil. So, you know, we're doing watercolor. You use these whatever way you use watercolor pencils, just know you won't be able to reactivate them once they're dry, okay? So look at that, delightful yellow. I'm gonna wash my brush. I'm gonna give it a dab for Angie. And then I'm gonna take a dark green and I wanna put like some texture, some lines, right? And I'm gonna go up and down this way. And then, you know, I don't know, it's dirt, you know what I'm saying? And then when I go to wet this, you'll have those marks. Mind you, you'll do more and that kind of stuff, but do you see how you can add texture then with the darker ones, and when you scribble on top, you get, you know, grass blades, flowers, stems, whatever you want, tree. And you just leave it dry, and then you can go on top and on top and on top. That's what I love about these. So the same thing applies. We'll go with a dark. This color was loved. That's paint for you. I'll go in. I'm gonna. Oh, she got some dirty water. Oh, I picked up brown. My gosh, Cal. I'm like, why is it coming out blue? All right. Okay, so you wet your brush. You go on and you wet your righty part, your pointy part, your lead, whatever it's called, your paint, and you see how we get. Nice look. I want to do a drippage. Everybody loves some drippage. Let's do magenta. Magenta. Couple there. Yeah. Now you see. Look at that. You could do this, and then what happens? Permanent. Once it's dry, it's not going to move. I wet this. Look at that. Look how intense. Oh, I just love it. Look at that. And you can see I'm going over this and it's making orange because yellow and pink. It's making a light orange there. And then I can even go a little bit darker. So a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Let's do a stamp. Let's do a stamp. Where'd my stamp go? All right, think, Kelly. Here it is. We'll do the same thing. I'm gonna have to wet my pencil, and you can wet your pencil as well. It's the block. You would take way more time than me to get your star and your ink. Good. I could have sprayed it. Yeah, probably should have sprayed it, but you can see it does the same thing. Just I was being lazy. Just follow those lines. See how nice? Stamp over anything. Do you know what I mean? Very nice. Very pigmented. So, just throwing any of that off there. So, I mean, you can see what we're going to do. Like I said, I will definitely use these in a piece, maybe later today or tomorrow. But, you see. So now it's pretty dry. My paper is still a little bit wet, but let's see what happens. I'm going to clean off this brush. And it's wet. See? Might be a little bit still wet, which makes sense because my paper is wet, but you can see, look, and you can hear me doing it. The blue's not going anywhere. That blue's a little wet there still because it's on that wet paper. And I know this side's still wet, but I think you understand what I'm saying. So are these fantastic? Yes, they are. Will I use these to show you fully how I use these? Oh yes. But like I said, I got asked to just show what they do, and this is what they do. You can stamp with them. You can color with them. You use them like watercolor pencils. That's essentially what they are. The only difference is they are permanent. So once all this dries, it's permanent. Now I'll go in, you know, and I'll put white paint over this. You know what I mean? I'll pick what side I want. I'll probably rip it in half. Who the heck knows what I'll do? But, you know, throw white paint and everything over it. And now I already have my first layer. So, you know, you can use it fantastically. Fantastically. I don't even know if that's a word. Now, what's different with these, if I use, let's say I use my Stabilo, and I use black all the time. This is a brown. This is not, it does not dry permanent, but it is water soluble. So it would be used like your regular watercolor pencil. And it won't, it'll keep, you know, I can keep going over it and it'll keep moving. Where these, you know, they don't. That's a nice brown. I got sent that and another black one, which I love. So exciting. So yeah, so I hope this helped a little bit. Like I said, I will do a project with it so you'll be able to see it more in action and how I use them in my layers and that kind of thing. But it's pretty self-explanatory. But they are fantastic. And if you get a chance to get them or use them, definitely do it because they're, you know, they're fun. They're fun, and especially if you're into mixed media or starting mixed media, these are a fun thing to ask for because you can use them in so many different ways. So I hope this was helpful to you guys who wanted to see them. And as always, please be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. I will see you in my next video. I love you guys so very much, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Bye-bye.